speaker replacement for Mac Mini A1283. The tools we're going to need are tweezers, a prying tool, and a screwdriver kit with a flathead and a Phillips head screwdriver. Go ahead and start by flipping over the Mac and prying into the seam on the right side. We're going to need to pry in from both sides, so use the flat-headed screwdriver as a prying tool to come in from the opposite side. Working your way and applying pressure, we need to kind of bend the case a little bit and push out the frame. Once you have that separation, you can just push it apart, and you can see it was being held in by pressure with plastic pieces on all sides. We'll first need to remove 3 antennas. They're held in with pressure, so by just gently pushing up on them, they should be able to unclip. Don't lose the spring that's underneath. Go ahead and pick that up and put it over to the side. Now peel back that little guarding tape. Move on to the next antenna, the gray one. Go ahead and pull that up as well and move that spring over to the side. Flip the Mac Mini around and get to the third antenna. This one we'll have to push in with our fingers and squeeze together as we pull up on it, and that should come right out like that. And this third spring. Okay, we'll need to remove these 4 Phillips head screws that are securing the DVD drive, optical drive. Okay, there's one there that we'll need an adapter for, and one right there. Go ahead and remove those 4. Use an extension to remove that one right there if you need. Go ahead and remove these 2. Removing these 4 screws, now we need to go ahead and peel back and disconnect that bridge ribbon cable right there. Gently disconnect that. Peel back that little piece of tape, and now the 5th and final screw right behind there, that will release the DVD drive, and that should be able to come out, slide out just like that. With the DVD drive removed, we need to remove the hard drive bracket enclosure. It's being held in with 4 Phillips head screws. You shouldn't need an adapter for this. Standard reach screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver should be able to get those. Go ahead and remove those 4 Phillips head screws as shown. With those 4 screws removed, go ahead and start prying and lifting up. That hard drive and bracket has a bridge that connects it to the logic board, so just gently push it up. One of the antennas might pop out, like this red one that I just moved. It popped out during the removal. Okay, let's disconnect the speaker cable first. It's the black cable. It might be blocked by a piece of tape. Remove it out of the way. Go ahead and gently unplug that and trace it out. It's just ran along the channel like so. Go ahead, untangle it, and go ahead and remove it from any hooks or plastic pieces that it's tucked in behind. There should be one right there, and loop that out. Now go ahead and remove the 4 Phillips head screws that are securing the speaker. These trivial screws are screwed into a gasket that keeps it from vibrating. Once those are loose, you can go ahead and just remove it, and the speaker should come out just like so. Here's what it looks like when it's out. Speaker installation. Reinstalling the speaker, go ahead and place it in its orientation. It's a little trivial and hard to get those screws aligned correctly. It just takes a little bit of time. Go ahead and flip it, in a different direction if you need to, and just adjust your angle. Once those are all screwed in, go ahead and trace out that cable, that black cable, and go ahead and plug it back in to the I/O board. Make sure it's a nice and tight connection. Let's reconnect these 3 tricky antennas. The blue one is reconnected first, and it goes all the way on the left side. And then the red one goes all the way on the right side. Lay them down in the orientation like you see here. Now on the bottom right side, reconnect the gray one and lay it down next to the blue one. Now let's put the hard drive bracket back over it. Make sure that you have enough antenna slack for all of the antennas to reach the places where they get clipped in. Make sure to check that that connection bridge is plugged into the logic board and you have a nice and solid connection. Go ahead and secure it with the 4 Phillips head screws. Double check to make sure that none of the antennas became disconnected when you place this back. Let's slide in that DVD drive into the socket. Make sure that that's nice and connected. The first thing we want to do is we want to secure that rear Phillips head screw so that the drive is nice and flush with the I/O bridge while we work on the rest of the connections. Go ahead and plug back in that ribbon cable that connects the I/O bridge to the DVD drive. Okay, it's plugged into 2 places. Go ahead and secure that. Once that's secure, go ahead and put back the 2 Phillips head screws on the left side and then the 2 Phillips head screws on the right side of the DVD drive. That last 4th screw might need a extension socket. Okay, now let's place back the antennas. Go ahead, put that spring back and load that first Bluetooth blue antenna. It just should clip right in. Okay, now place back the spring and the gray antenna, and that should click right in as well. Let's flip it around, and the 3rd and final antenna. Let's go ahead and place back that spring. This is the one where you have to pinch together with your fingers and then clip on top. So go ahead and pinch that and then push down on it. There we go, that's a lock. Okay, go ahead and place back the cover. Make sure to align everything. Once everything is nice and aligned, go ahead and apply a good amount of pressure to lock everything into place.